When we came here over 5 years ago now, for the sake of transport, I stripped down my big cast iron bandsaw and never got around to putting it back together again. Then a while ago I went down to the local sale room and this bandsaw was there. Had all the instructions, the manual, the spare blades, the fences, everything that come with it new. So I left a bid of, I don't know, 50, 60, 70 quid, something like that, and bought it very cheaply. Absolutely delighted. I thought that'll just do my little bits of bandsawing, because I only want one every few months. And then I found that the blade guides that come with these things are appalling. Might as well be made out of cinder toffee. It's all crumbling away and bent and buckled and I actually found that there was a spare set of blade guides that came with the machine, so somebody had already had this problem. Anyway, I was going to make some replacement guides, and then I had a wee look on Public Enemy #1, the internet, and found that people are already making replacements. This lot came today from the Bedford Saw and Tool Limited. Cost me less than £80 for the top and bottom guides, the bits and pieces, the instructions and the whole lot. So I reckon I could have spent 2 days making a set of blade guides, but here we are. The made for the purpose things. So what comes in the box? Upper and lower guides, paper wrapping, replacement uppy downy thing, the metal template for drilling, and some instructions, which are a little bit ambiguous, I've got to say. So, here goes. So first of all, I've removed the blade, and then we're supposed to take the table off. The table is fastened on from behind, the light's not very good in here, with 4 13mm, I think they'll be, headed nuts which hold the bracket on. They're held into the body of the thing with coach bolts, so they're captive, they don't turn. And a little tip here is, if you're working on your own and can't reach both sides, you can always hold those in place with a little blob of super glue. It can help. Then we remove this thing, which is the original lower blade guide holder. Obviously the lower blade guide broke off years ago. 10mm spanner. What's going on in there? And is it a screw on? We'll find out. And it's threaded into this metal plate from underneath, so it's a 10mm hex head on 6mm thread. The upper guide holder, there is a replacement in the kit. I'm going to take this off anyway to make it easier to drill the appropriate holes. Now there's a little plastic slidey thing on this aluminium support, which I presume is there to stop you sticking your fingers in and getting them cut off, but it's completely seized up on this particular saw, and because I'm lazy and can't be bothered to do anything about it, I've just cut the end off it with a saw so that I can move the thing out of the way. And as it turned out, it's all buckled and bent, and well, I'm just going to get rid of that part and trust myself not to stick my fingers in holes when the machine's running. And once you've moved that, you can wriggle this thing out of the way, complete with its captive bolt. Then we put this drill template in place over the corner of the body of the machine. 4mm drill to drill a pilot hole through there. Then we open the hole up to 6mm clear, which is 6.5 or thereabouts, 1/4 inch, whatever you've got. And on the back of the drill template there are 4 pilot marks to drill new holes for the table support bracket. On this particular machine the holes are already there, so you may have to drill them and you may not. It says drill them 10mm in diameter. I would actually drill them smaller and file them square like the originals so that we can use the coach bolts, but do as you please. Then we use the replacement blade guide screwed from underneath with a 6mm screw. Use a nice thick washer instead of the weedy one that came with it. Now there's no point in tightening that up immediately because that is the guide for the blade guide. So the blade guide will want squaring up before the screw is tightened. Apparently, depending on the age of the machine, the new supplied sliding support doesn't always fit and you have to adapt the old one. But in my case it seems to fit. So I've just fitted the upper stop on from one piece to another with a number 2 Phillips screwdriver. Now I undid these 2 screws at the front of the machine to release the guide for the sliding section to make it easier to wiggly pokery it out. But in all honesty it would probably have been easier to undo those 2 Phillips number 2 screws at the top stop and just slide the thing out and replace it vice versa. Anyway, whatever. Then you take this piece, slide it up there and fit your upper guide over the thread and into that slot. Just like that. And I think that's pretty neat. Now I've put the table bracket back on, but I haven't tightened it up yet because there is some sideways movement, sideways adjustment. And before I put the table on, I think it'll be the easiest to adjust these guides now. All the adjustments on the guides are made with 3mm and 4mm Allen keys. So I'm going to make a little box or something to keep those Allen keys with the machine, so they're always handy. I've got everything adjusted now, and everything seems pretty solid once you've sorted it out. The table bracket is fitted to the new or the upper holes. Presumably this guide is higher than the original one, but if the ultimate cutting depth was your desire, it wouldn't be too difficult to alter the frame of the machine if you could weld to lower the thing down. It wouldn't be difficult at all, but it doesn't matter to me. Another commentator pointed out that hole for the bottom blade guide could well have been 1/4 inch to the right, because the adjuster is extended slightly further than it could be. But these bandsaws changed over the years, so that isn't necessarily true for every one of these bandsaws. Well, yes, they work. The machine is now doing what it should do. So, value for money? Yeah, I think they're fine. Now, looking from underneath, I will say the lower guide seems to have been made upside down, because you would expect the side bearings to be as close to the cut as possible. But it's fine for what it is. Also, the table is now fitted in the upper holes, and actually if depth of cut is your criteria, I'm sure you could fit the table in the lower holes, or the original holes, and get another inch or so of depth of cut, but then you probably wouldn't be able to tilt the table quite as far. The other thing that I found with this particular kit is that because there is some play in the adjustment of this aluminium moving part, the upper wheel can rub on it, but it would be a simple matter with a file just to take a little bit more off that edge, and I will be doing that. Anyway, they cost less than 80 quid and the machine is now running as it should do, so I would say they are good value for money. But I would also say that if you're going to go and buy one of these saws second hand, the thing to check out is those blade guides, because the original ones are rubbish. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it helped you.